My son's in-laws hated me. On the way to their anniversary gala, I stopped to help an 8-year-old girl having a seizure in a wrecked car. I was late and bloody. They had security escort me out, but then the girl's mother walked in. She turned out to be the lead donor behind the $9 million wing they'd spent years begging her to fund. I'm a retired plumber. Drove a '09 Chevy with 190k miles. His mother-in-law once looked at that truck the way you look at a raccoon in your garage. Not scared, just annoyed it existed near you. My son married into real money, the kind that doesn't announce itself. First time I met his mother-in-law, she looked at my lapel, then my shoes, then smiled the kind of smile that's really just teeth. I tried for a few years. Around year 4, I accepted nothing I brought was ever going to land right. Stopped trying. Showed up when my son needed me. Kept quiet when quiet kept peace. The gala was their 30th. My son called to say they wanted me there. He said Whitney wanted me there. That told me everything about who made that call and who had tolerated it. I pressed the blazer the night before. Left early and took 17 south. Marshes on both sides. Sky going orange. 40 minutes out I saw her. A woman standing in the road with both arms up. Silver SUV in the ditch. Glass across the right lane. 5 cars swerved past her without slowing. I pulled over. She ran to me before I'd shut the door. Couldn't get words out. Just my daughter, please, my daughter. I went straight to the back seat. Little girl still in the booster. Seizing. Body going rigid and slack in waves. Eyes rolled back. My sister had epilepsy for 30 years. I know what a seizure looks like. I know the worst thing is panic. I'd already called 911 before I crossed the road. 12 minutes for an ambulance. That's a long time. I got her unstrapped and laid her on her side in the grass. Knelt beside her with one hand on her shoulder, keeping her airway clear, talking low even when she couldn't hear me. The mother knelt beside me, shaking hard. 3 prior seizures, she said. Supposed to be controlled. New medication. 2 months in. The girl came around about 8 minutes later. Gray eyes that didn't know where they were. I told her my name. Said Mama was right beside her. Paramedics arrived fast. Loaded her up. The mother grabbed my hand through the window and asked my name. Then they were gone. I stood on the shoulder with blood on my shirt. The girl had a small cut. Got it on me when I lifted her. Grass on my knees. Blazer in the ditch. Hands shaking. You hold steady while it's happening and your body sends the bill after. I called my son twice on the drive. Voicemail both times. The valet looked at my truck, then at me. Blood on the shirt, grass on the knees, and pointed me toward the entrance. 200 people in formal wear watched me cross the lobby. I kept walking. His father-in-law met me before I made it 20 feet in. Took my elbow. Said this was a formal occasion. That there were important people in that room. That the kindest thing for everyone would be if I went home and cleaned up. Family dinner next weekend. His treat. I told him there was a little girl seizing in a wrecked car on 17. He said he was sorry to hear it, then repeated what he'd already said. Security walked me out. Black suit, polite as a pallbearer. I didn't argue. Didn't look at my son in the hallway. I sat on a bench by the fountain. Warm night. Smelled like jasmine. Waited for my hands to settle. The black Suburban pulled up 11 minutes later. She stepped out in a dark blue dress. Hair still damp. Scanning the building until she heard her name. Came straight over, took both my hands. The little girl was stable. Overnight. Going to be fine. Neurologist said laying her on her side had kept her airway clear. Then she looked at the blood on my shirt, then at the doors. She asked why I was outside. I told her I'd been late, that my appearance had been a problem for the family inside. She looked at me for a long moment. Said, come with me. I told her I didn't want to make a scene. She said, come with me. I've learned when a mother whose child just survived tells you to come with her, you come with her. I stood up. She took my arm. We walked back through the lobby. The security man started toward us. She looked at him once. He stopped. She walked me straight into that room. His mother-in-law was already on her feet, champagne flute in hand, saying, excuse me, this is a private. And the woman beside me said her name. Said it clearly, the way you say things in rooms you've stood in before. Said, I believe we've corresponded. You wrote to me 3 months ago about underwriting the pediatric cardiac wing at Memorial. 300 people went completely quiet. She didn't raise her voice. She said, I had $9 million ready to sign over to this family Monday morning. She let that sit there for a moment. I won't be.